7 years ago, Larian Studios blessed us with the official announcement trailer for Baldur's Gate 3. It was unexpected, dark, brutal, and perhaps a little disgusting. But would we have it any other way? Nah. This trailer brought up so many questions for not only fans of Larian from their previous Divinity games, but also just CRPG fans in general and D&D fans alike. Larian was now diving into the Forgotten Realms setting on the Sword Coast in the famed city of Baldur's Gate.
Hello to the Wolf Pack. I'm Ed Greenwood. I'm the creator of the Forgotten Realms.
But none of us really knew what to expect. The following year, in February of 2020, Sven Vinka revealed some gameplay to us in its purest, most authentic form. This was the owner of, at the time, a decently sized studio, just playing his game, having fun, embracing the chaos.
So I'm gonna just slap it. There you go.
Something you rarely see these days.
And
Later that year, in October, close to 6 years ago, Baldur's Gate 3 launched into early access and to great success. Oh, baby! Woo! Let's go! It was reported that it sold over 1 million copies on Steam alone in just the first week. We players were given access to an unfinished Act 1 that had missing companions, less than half of the game's classes, a sassy Shadowheart.
Stop! Not another stepper up!
Slam it in your window, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they everybody out here.
Janky cinematics, a horrible reaction system, and even missing areas such as Grimforge and the Mountain Pass. The Mountain Pass wouldn't even come until 1.0. None of that really mattered though, as this game was just pure RPG fun, and it was only the start of early access. Every few months or so, Larian would do community updates to highlight improvements and additions to the game. But these updates were not just in text fashion. Larian put on entire shows for us, including rock concerts, cow morphine,
is he coming? No!
Santa,
Oh, who's that? Is it
Oh, we have a visitor! Oh, Santa!
Santa?
castle adventures,
Is that a horse?
Looks like it moves.
That is a horse. Well spotted, Sven. You know your
Yeah, I know.
Horses.
And
I
put
know.
the horse in the wood thing.
put the horse in the. It doesn't.
It doesn't fit. Put the salami in the hole.
Put the salami in the hole. Wait, I can't find my inventory is already cluttered. Okay, here's the salami.
Oh, yeah, that's a close fit.
barbarians,
Yeah, it's gotten a lot.
That must be Jimmy. Jimmy's back. Jimmy's back. All right. Jimmy, we're over here. Jimmy. Jimmy. We're here. Jimmy.
ice sculptures,
All hell, Iceman. Jimmy. Whoa. Jimmy. No. No, Jimmy. No. Jimmy. No. Decapitate. No. Jimmy.
well, there was an ice sculpture, chucking cats,
And I'm going to throw you over to the other side. You ready? Ah, look at that.
Uh-oh.
What
Oh,
happened?
you threw me into battle.
What?
Are you in combat?
I am in combat
Really, with who?
with face spiders. Hey, chat.
Ah, all right.
banging bears, what? And most importantly, technical difficulties.
Burrow into the ground.
I think you have a video of that.
I was about to, but it seems like my magic panel
Oh, your magic panel is not working?
died. I'm gonna press a button and I hope something happens.
No, maybe we should get
No.
tech support. Of course, nothing works with Iron Studios. And then whenever we do something, everything breaks.
Many of us were loving every minute of these panel from hells, as Larian would call them. These were community update shows put on by the devs themselves, and the most important thing that came out of these shows was that Larian was extremely passionate about their game. And when you combine that with competency, good things come. I actually had the pleasure of attending 2 of these panels. One was to make Co-Carnage think that I was a Gen Z IRL streamer.
There he is, the one and only Wolfheart, who is going to step in as our barbarian of the day.
And the other was Larian needing me at the studio in person so they could 3D scan my body or some sort of technology like that so they could use that mold for a character named Helson.
I don't believe you.
Despite early access running a tad on the long side, you could say, close to 3 years. When I look back at Baldur's Gate 3, some of the most exciting and memorable times were actually prior to BG3's official launch. Google is telling me that I did like 40 BG3 videos prior to early access launch in 2020 and 220 to 260 total prior to official release. Let's just say that milking it accusations were quite common at that time, but damn was that milk sweet. Or sour. Shit. But then the moment had finally arrived. Larian launched Baldur's Gate 3 on PC on August 3rd of 2023. Consoles wouldn't come until a month later for Xbox and a little bit later for PlayStation. Fun little fact here though, for anyone who didn't know, the original PC release date for Baldur's Gate 3 was actually August 31st of 2023. But after Bethesda announced that Starfield would launch just 1 week later, Larian made the unusual decision to move BG3's release forward almost a full month to give the game some breathing room before one of the most anticipated RPGs of the decade would arrive. Ironically, looking back, that decision may have actually helped Starfield more than it did BG3. Baldur's Gate 3 quickly earned a reputation as one of the greatest RPGs ever made. It wasn't just a landmark achievement for the CRPG genre, it became a true mainstream success. It also made history as the first game ever to win Game of the Year at all 5 major industry award shows, the Game Awards.
And the game of the year is Baldur's Gate 3.
The Golden Joystick Awards, the DICE Awards, the Game Developers Choice Awards, and the BAFTA Game Awards.
And the BAFTA goes to, Baldur's Gate 3.
That's an extraordinary accomplishment for any game, but even more impressive for a game that many put into the CRPG genre category, which is a subgenre of RPGs that tends to be a bit more on the niche side.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go.
Baldur's Gate 3 also won community support in 2023, 2024, and 2025. But this year, 2026, will probably be the first year that it misses out on that award, as Larian has, of course, moved on to Divinity. But keep in mind, BG3 has no paid DLCs or any of that, and it just won community support 3 times in a row. Also, shout out to Borislav, aka Bobby, the composer for Baldur's Gate 3. He won some awards over the years as well, and man, some of those songs were some of the most thematic fitting songs I've ever experienced in a video game. Getting goosebumps. Whole body is just a big goosebump right now. BG3's success caught the entire industry by surprise, even Larian themselves. Sven Vinka, Larian's founder, owner, and creative director, even stated in the past that he told his team to expect a Steam concurrent player peak of around 100,000 or so max. Well, just 10 days after release, that number was exceeded by 775,000 as BG3 hit a Steam concurrent player peak of 875,343 players, placing it among Steam's top 10 most played games of all time. And even nearly 3 years later, it still holds an incredibly impressive position of number 13. This is a CRPG that has found itself existing alongside some of the biggest games ever released in gaming. And that's only part of the story, as those numbers don't include GOG, PlayStation, or Xbox, where Baldur's Gate 3 was also a massive commercial success and has consistently ranked among the top-selling games on each platform. Steam charts today reveal that over the last month, Baldur's Gate 3 is still hitting peaks that are close to 80K. Today, actually 47,100 in the morning time that I'm recording this on a Wednesday. And then if we zoom out to the last year, in December of 2025, actually I think that might have been technically January where it hit that peak, it hit 127,000 concurrent players, and this isn't even the release of patch 8, as patch 8 came way back in April of 25. 3 years later, Steam reviews are still sitting at overwhelmingly positive, but actually recent reviews when compared to last year around this time have gone down just a little bit from the overwhelmingly positive label to very positive, which is still a 94% thumbs up. One of the reasons for BG3's continued success is that Larian has released 33 hotfixes and 8 completely free patches to this day, one of which included 12 new subclasses that didn't cost us players a dime. But perhaps even more importantly, this patch in particular actually felt like a thank you to fans from the studio versus feeling like content that should have been included on release. There was already 46 subclasses on 1.0. Larian also introduced crossplay, an official mod system for both PC and console players alike, and much, much more. More importantly though, Baldur's Gate 3 continues to succeed because it's just a damn good RPG. And many so-called RPGs die very shortly after their launch because they're games where decisions have little consequence, player agency is limited, there aren't many meaningful secrets to discover or any secrets at all because everything is you're just guided to everything. And after one playthrough, you've basically seen everything that the game has to offer. Well, Larian built Baldur's Gate 3 to be the complete opposite of that. Every combat encounter can be approached in different ways. Playing as a drow or even other races can unlock unique dialogue and reactions and even change how some of the gameplay plays out. There are 12 classes and 58 subclasses to choose from, countless hidden interactions, and content that only appears if you make very specific choices. The other night I completely ignored and or killed the companions, and during my first long rest there was a dialogue that was triggered that I've never seen before because of my previous actions with those companions. You can try beating the game as a cat, shout out to Proxygate Tactician, or attempt solo honor mode, or perhaps even invent your own challenge runs or install some mods that other players have created. I've actually been inspired by Morgana Evelyn and Luality to try a solo honor mode run myself. He's gonna come all the way around, I think. Good shot, Zev. Okay, he's gonna... It's not going great, but I am having a blast, and the fact that I'm still finding new ways to enjoy a game that I've been playing for nearly 6 years now, if counting early access, says everything. Games that people keep coming back to are games that people keep talking about, and that constant conversation also brings in new players year after year. Baldur's Gate 3's success is well deserved. Larian's success is deserved. And I have a feeling that Larian is only halfway up their mountain. Happy 3-year anniversary, Baldur's Gate 3, and a huge thank you to everyone who watches my Larian content or even RPG content in general. Lots more to come, especially considering that we have that upcoming Divinity game to lose our lives to.
My heart does not stir lightly, but it does now.